last leg universities stand on is collapsing. Oh, and it was already a peg leg to begin with, and now the termites got to it. The world of indoctrination is not what it used to be. You think? Oh man, it's almost like someone's been watching my channel for the past 9 years, huh? The universities are dying. And you want to know who killed it? The professors. They have long ceased being the best way to gain knowledge. Oh, you guys finally catching on. More recently, the degrees they confer have ceased being the best way to signal employability, the only exception being jobs that legally require them. Exactly. Is this not exactly what I've been saying? Such jobs are increasingly stodgy, unattractive, bureaucratic, backwards, and subservient to tyrannical governments. Yeah. Basically, just doctors, Everything else you could kind of do without for the most part. Now, the final leg universities stand on is the mythology of social status. That's it. That's what gives them what waning power they have. I can't count the number of parents I've talked with who recognize that college is one of the worst places to learn and degrees are one of the weakest ways to try to get hired, but who still needlessly bite the bullet and send their kid anyway. And then they act all surprised when their kid comes back, as a brain dead activist. So often they shackle themselves or their children to tens of thousands in debt along the way, hundreds of thousands sometimes. They despise the infantilizing policies on campus and bitter ideas in the classrooms. They see the waste, corruption, stupidity, warped worldview, and bad habits cultivated and rewarded by the system. But they still send their kids. Why? Because they're fucking stupid. That's why. But let's hear the excuse. Because they value the decaying social status indicator of a degree. It's true. So there was a time when a degree did actually signify you accomplished something. Now, not so much. They want a shortcut to communities, to the world, to communicate to the world that they are good parents and their kids are better than most. Now, how does that work when everybody has a degree? When degrees are the new high school diploma, how could you even say that? Oh, look, my crotch fruit has the same degree as everyone else in the neighborhood. Isn't he smart? So even when they know the college experience is not good for their kids, many go through with it because they panic. They don't know how to face other parents who ask what their kids are doing. Hey, my kid's making bank while your kid is still suffering under student loans. They don't know how to deal with the social expectation among the masses that college is somehow respectable. So they're sheep. Like that's what this article is saying. They're sheep. The key to a happy life is not giving a fuck what irrelevant people think about you. So I can think of a few things less respectable than unknowingly going into debt to spend half a decade drinking and begrudgingly completing meaningless assignments for professors detached from the world. Also, you can emerge with a piece of paper that does nothing to help you start a career and mindsets that make success harder. And employers are now starting to catch on. And like I mentioned, I've had firsthand experience with this. Like they blacklist specific colleges entirely. Some of them just more generally are looking for non-college students. Now, this doesn't mean it's not possible for college experience to be good or valuable or any of those things. Yep, I've said this as well. I don't need to beat that dead horse. Point is, almost no one seriously analyzes it. Almost no one sets out specific goals, examines the various ways to achieve them, compares college to the relevant alternatives, because only college confers social praise of the self-appointed important people. Who wrote this article? Who fucking wrote this? Because this is pretty much exactly, Isaac Morehouse. Hey, are you in the chat, dude? Are you there somewhere? Because this is pretty much everything I've been saying. Yeah, this is like my plan is figure out what you want to do first and then determine if you need college to do it. So, the priests of our cultural religion teach that you are not important without a degree. It's the equivalent of a blue check mark on Twitter, a self-serious symbol that turns out to be a better indicator of who is a fool or apologist for tyrants than who's a serious person. Also true. Yeah, blue check marks on Twitter are for the most part just, this person is approved by the establishment, so I could just ignore them. As easy as it is to see the foolishness of university degrees as a status symbol from a distance, the spell the priests have cast over the past half century remains powerful, even for those who should know better. They're NPCs. A college degree does not make you serious, important, or special in any way, especially if you get a useless degree. So the whole point of college, like you're supposed to get a degree and to further the career you want to be in. But the vast majority of college students, they're like, oh, I just need to get any degree and then I'm going to be a millionaire. So they get useless degrees like professional golf management or general studies. And then they wonder, it's like, why isn't anyone hiring general studies degrees? You've been better off just going right to work after high school, man. A college degree does not make you serious, important, or special in any way. It only proves you're willing to follow the crowd, a dangerous prospect, especially lately. All true. A college degree is a good indicator of who's likely a sheep. It's not a guarantee, but you should definitely keep them under a microscope. So now universities are extending their absurdities to the bodily autonomy of their students. They're forcing students to cover their faces, swab their noses, present medical papers, get injected with crony corporate concoctions they know little about. Yeah, can't even talk about that here because those corporate cronies will decide to lay the hammer down. And they are belittled and harassed in the process. The few social joys of campus life are reduced while tuition is increased. And this is precisely why more men are walking away from relationships, actually. They keep taking away benefits and piling on costs. And eventually, you're like, nah, the juice ain't worth the squeeze. So now's the time to pull the last leg out from under the zombie corpse of college. Hey, bro, I've been doing this for years. But now's the time to break the spell cast by its priests and reject the idea that degrees make you matter. Yeah, they don't. And now's the time to courageously unleash human creativity and imagination, engage in alternative indoctrinational, social, and career experiences. There's a war for the mind, a war of information, a war for control of the human societies and cultures. This war requires you to believe the priests and accept the idea that the ivory tower is more important than you, and those that slap a stamp of approval on are more important than those who bypass the madness. The tyrannical individuals' policies, beliefs crippling the world today emanate from universities and the sphere of influence they enjoy. 100% true right there. Most of this academic bullshit that's infesting greater society and dragging us all down originated in college. They continue to take your money and weaken young minds, all while using their undue influence to make your life worse. Don't accept it. Don't allow it. You can overcome the pernicious influence of experts by simply ignoring them and refusing to give them your money, attention, and children. What have I been saying all along? Exactly this. The institutional paper doesn't matter. The life ideas and actions of individual humans do. You are free to pursue life, learning, and career any way you choose. Invest your time, money, energy anywhere you wish. Do you want to empower the system that wishes to enslave you, or do you want to blaze a trail of freedom and show the world a better way? Oh, we know what we're doing here. And while you blaze a better way, remember, don't allow the people who ruined the old industry into the new one. That is probably the biggest mistake I see our side committing in the future. Gatekeep, man. Gatekeep always.